What's going on? This your boy Gangsta Talk with AJ, and I'm back with another video. So in this video, this is gonna be Stepback with AJ episode 6. So we're getting into the beginning of 2024, and we're gonna run through 2025. We're running till 2025. So basically the year 2024 alone. So if you're into thought-provoking content like this, like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. So 2024. This is my last year living in New Mexico. At the time I didn't know I was moving at the beginning of the year, but I decided, I've been here for this long. I'm ready for a change. A lot of the companies that were in the area, because with Albuquerque being like a small area compared to like where I live now, was blacklisted by a lot of companies, by a lot of jobs. So working a 9 to 5 there was not an option at all. Because every time I would go to an interview, I would get the same thing. They'll tell me, they'll contact me. They'll either never contact me. They'll just kind of give me the runaround. Some will hire me and then ghost me. So I was dealing with a lot of that when I wanted to find work. So 2024 was a trying year for me. So we're going to start off in January 2024. So I'm working this app called Spark, Walmart Spark. This is one of my apps that was bringing in some really, really good money. So January 2024. Now I've been working this app for years, for at least 4 years at this point. And all of a sudden, because what I'll do is I'll go wait in the parking lot. I'll wait for an order to come, and once I get the order, I'll go shop for the order or whatever. Cool. So this particular time, I noticed that I ended up moving to other stores because I was dealing with a lot of directed conversation, and then a lot of just overall just a lot of drivers wanting to engage in conversation with me that I really didn't want to engage in conversation with them, because a lot of it was them kind of like, let's say if I'm sitting in the car right now and I'm on the phone, it's almost like they can make out what I'm saying in terms of like how much I'm making, because I was getting a lot of people asking me how much I'm making, and they'd be like, oh, I'm bringing in this amount a week, and it'd be ironically the same amount I bought in. So they know exactly what I'm doing. So what they were doing at the time was sending drivers to locations that I would go to, because you can go to any store at Walmart and just work that store if you want to, if it's profitable. So I was at the location on Carlisle and what street is that? Manal, for a while. I was there for a while. I would work that store because it was close to my house. And then approximately, around January 2024, I decided to move to a location that was off of, Coors and I-25. So working over there at that location, I'm doing pretty good. You know what I'm saying? In the winter months, I'm doing pretty good. It's coming in nice. Then I noticed that some of those people that was at that location at Carlisle and Manal, they started to funnel over there. And there was this particular individual that I felt weird about, because he used to always act like something was wrong with him. But looking back on it in hindsight, it was all an act, because I remember after one conversation with him where he tried to ask me how much I was making, and then when he brought up how much he made or allegedly made, but it was the same exact amount I made to the dollar and cent. Like, it was so fucking weird, bro. And once he brought it up, it was like, I told him, none of your business, because I don't work. We're not co-workers, we're independent contractors. You don't need to know how much I make, essentially. And tell me why after that conversation, I noticed him go and talk to some of the workers at Walmart, the online grocery pickup workers. And all of a sudden, I work that day, I go home, and I get a notification in the app that my accounts have been deactivated. All of a sudden. And I'm calling them and I'm asking them what happened. They're saying that we don't know what happened, and I go to appeal this decision. My appeal gets denied, but nobody's telling me what's going on. So apparently I end up finding out that the people that work at Walmart, the online grocery pickup, made up a lie about me and said that I was harassing workers that work there. I harassed somebody, and I went back up there, and I'm like, bro, who did I harass? Who did I harass there? I never used to really have conversation. I would go get my orders, leave, come back, but I would mind my business. I never used to talk to anybody. So I ended up getting confirmation because I crashed out verbally on the manager of the online grocery pickup. And he said essentially that, yeah, I made up a lie. What are you going to do about it? And I got deactivated, and I couldn't get my account back ever since. So at that point, enough was enough for me. So I just let it go, and then I just went on to my other hustles or whatever. But I knew at that point, these people are trying to take all my income away from me. All of it. Every single dollar. They were trying everything. They already blacklisted me from all the companies in the area. They're taking this income, so they're trying to siphon all my money and all my resources. And I wouldn't let them do it. So I went to my other resources, everything was smooth as far as making money. And then another app went down. So you have to be careful on these apps. This is February 2024. So this is back to back. Delivering orders on Uber Eats. And next thing you know, right, I get a notification saying that it's something about, damn, I wish I had the app on me, but it was something about, I committed, collusion fraud or something like that. And they were saying that I'm basically not delivering orders and marking them complete. And I'm just like, bro, I never did such thing. You know what I'm saying? And they deactivated me from the platform. So that's a second platform I lost. Appealed, failed. So these customers are really out here, and these workers are really out here trying to blacklist me and blackball me from everything. Everything. Like 2024 was such a bad year. So I'm going on. I got 3 other platforms that I'm working, because I had 6 total. Lost 2. Now I'm down to 4. So one of those platforms don't really hit like that. And then I did catering, and then I did DoorDash, and I have start doing my little startup thing that I do now. That's on my own. That wasn't really hitting like that in that area, but now it's different. So now that I moved to a bigger city, so we get into March 2024. Now I'm doing a DoorDash order, and I'm on what's the street? What was that street? It was a Trisco, was the Central and the Trisco. I'm sorry, Central and the Trisco. I was on that cross street, right? Now I'm sitting at the light. There's 1, 2, 3 cars in front of me. I'm the 4th car, and there's a truck behind me. Now I put my window down, and I smelled a strong odor of weed. I don't smoke weed, so I'm just like, I know it ain't me, whatever the case may be, right? Now tell me why the light's red, and all of a sudden I hear somebody hit the gas, and then this car I'm sitting in, jerk, like boom. Next thing you know, this motherfucker hit me, and excuse my language, this dude hit me, rear-ended me for no reason at all. The light was red. He rear-ended me for no reason. And then my trunk just smashed in, like I couldn't open my trunk. And I'm gonna get into the follow-up on that, because this has been a trying year. This was it was horrible. So I get out my car, right? And I go to the back of the car. And I'm just like, bro, what are you thinking, bro? The light's fucking red. What are you doing? And he was like, oh, I didn't know. I'm like, bro, nobody was moving. What are you thinking, bro? His car smelled like straight weed, bro. And I'm just like, and then I see a car. It was a couple that pulled up next to me. They was like, damn, that sucks. That sucks, man. That sucks, man. And I see the girl in there laughing. So essentially, he did that on purpose. And then they come up to me and acting like the shit is funny. Like, unless if it was you, it wouldn't be funny, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, bro, get the fuck on, essentially. And then police show up. Let me tell you what happened when the police show. Oh my God, bro. The police showed up and they're treating me like it was my fault. I'm telling you, they're fucking asking for my ID. They're trying to run my background, like taking my ID, and I'm just like, bro, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Why you ain't going at this guy? He hit me. You know what I'm saying? So after they take my information, they running my information as if I was at fault. You don't smell this weed coming out this man's car, the devil's lettuce? You don't smell that? But y'all coming at me like I'm a criminal. So next thing you know, we finally get around to exchanging insurance information. I got scared because the card he gave me was expired. So I'm like, oh, this man ain't got no insurance, bro. Oh my God, bro. I'm cooked, bro. I'm gonna have to come out. I'm gonna have to get up with my insurance and I have full coverage. Get full coverage, people. If you have a car, just get full coverage because a lot of people are riding around with no insurance. Pay the money. It is what it is. So I'm thinking at the same time, oh, I gotta get full coverage. I gotta get, use my insurance to get this covered. You know what I'm saying? So next thing you know, I called his insurance company when I noticed the card was expired that they gave me after we left. I got home, I called his insurance company. And luckily his insurance was good. And I was able to set it up to get it fixed. Now, getting into April. Now, it took me a couple weeks to kind of figure out where to find a shop. So we're in April 2024 at this point. I finally get a shop. Now, this is the most rinky-dink shop ever. And what's wild is the shop closed shortly after they worked on my car. And I'm going to tell you why. So I dropped my car off at this shop. For one, they took like a week. It took like a week for some reason for them to just even start working on my car. So I get a call from the insurance. They tell me the estimate. Boom, whoop, whoop, so this is how much it's gonna be. We're gonna pay the shop. You know how they go. And tell me why they had my car, and they was like, okay, it's gonna take 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying, to replace your truck. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying. And and tell me why I get to the 2 week point, and I'm asking them like, yo, what's up with my car? And next thing you know, they're saying that we haven't worked on it yet. I'm like, bro, y'all told the insurance company it'll take 2 weeks. I need my car to, get my money. So they're just procrastinating around. It turns into May, bro. They still got my car. And I'm just, at this point, I'm pissed. So I press the issue like, yo, I need my car. Y'all need to hurry up. I'm without for a month. I need my car. So at that point, they seem to get an attitude, and I'm about to take the camera off here, and I'm gonna show you what happened. Give me 1 second. Now I want y'all to come out with me, and I want y'all to look at this half-ass job they did. Hold on, y'all. Kind of in the corner here. I gotta move my car over. But hold on, I'm gonna show y'all this half-ass job they did. Cause it's still like this. Now, you see that right there? Hold on a second. Can I get on camera? Right here. You see how this is pulled out like that? Look at this half-ass job they did on putting my trunk back together. This is supposed to be pushed up against this, right? And what happened was that they closed my trunk, they rigged it together. And at that point, it wouldn't close. So after a month, they get paid and I get my car back. And let me close this trunk, my bad. And they got paid or whatnot. And excuse me. And they got paid, and then next thing you know, I told them like, hey, they closed my trunk, they rigged it closed. But when I went to open it to use it, it wouldn't close again. It didn't close, period, like at all after that. So I'm calling these guys, right? And I'm telling them like, hey, my trunk ain't closing. And So I told them like, yo, I'm gonna meet y'all at the shop at 9 a.m. This is the middle of May. So 6 weeks after this car accident and my car supposedly got fixed. Get to this place and they never showed up. I'm sitting out here and I'm waiting for a whole hour. They never showed up. Never showed up. So they took the insurance money and never showed up. They never really properly fixed my trunk. So when that ended up happening is I ended up calling the dealership and took it to the dealership. Luckily, through the grace of God, they had a recall for the trunk latch on my car. So through the grace of God, I was able to get it fixed and closable for free. But that bottom part is still like that, as you just saw. Which, you know, it is what it is, but the trunk closes. So I'm not even mad. I got it done for free. I'm not even mad. So, okay, so we're getting into June 2024. I'm on DoorDash at the time. I was doing a DoorDash order, and I'm going to this Panera Bread that I normally go to at the mall over there in Louisiana. And I walk in. There was this Caucasian girl, this Mexican girl, the little Mexican man that looked like John Stockton, the manager. And there was two dudes that worked there. Every time I come in there, they would always give me a hard time, harass, you know, and just have directed conversation and cause problems, right? And I was just wondering why, like, you know what I'm saying? Why do they do this every time I come in there? You know, they will always do this. And it just got to a point where I had to say something. I had to approach them like, yo, what's up with y'all? What's y'all issue with me? Because every time I come in here, y'all always just talking little shit. And I'm just like, bro, what's up? Do we have a problem? And this was an almost crash out. Almost. So nothing happened. Nothing happened. They obviously denied it, acting as if, you know what I'm saying, that they don't have an issue with me. But even though every time I come in there, y'all are talking shit. So I'm just like, bro, what's up with y'all, man? What's going on? Like, what are we doing here? So next thing you know, I ordered some food from there just because I like Panera Bread. Ordered some food from there. Next thing you know, I noticed that as I'm walking in the store, I placed a mobile order on my phone. Now, and I ordered a bagel. I ordered like a cheese bagel, and what is it called? What is that shit called? A soup, like a soup, a wildflower soup. It's like a wildflower soup, like rice and chicken and vegetables in it, and a turkey and cheese sandwich. So I ordered that, and next thing you know, I get in there. They had made my order wrong on purpose. So, and I come back and I tell them like, hey, my order's wrong. So I go back in there. Next thing you know, I give them the bag, and next thing you know, I hear something drop on the floor, and it was my sandwich. They dropped it on the floor, and they tried to just put it back in the bag as if it didn't happen. And next thing you know, I'm like, bro, y'all dropped my sandwich on the floor. What's up with that? You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry. We'll make it again. And then I see her little snickering and shit like that. I'm like, bro, these people are so childish, bro, and so lame, bro. So at that point, I said, you know what? Just keep the food. You know what I'm saying? I want my money back. I won't do business here anymore if y'all going to play games like this. So they gave me, in long story short, I got my money back. End up calling, doing it through the app because with me doing it through the app, it was nothing much they can do in the store. So I ended up getting my money back, and I never went back there again. So we're getting into July 2024. Next thing you know, it's the halfway point at this point. I'm having conversations and thinking to myself like, yo, I'm about to move and whatnot. I'm thinking about moving towards the end of the year when my lease is up at this house I'm living in. So my mission in order to move here, I had to save up about 5 bands. So with me paying, you know, my rent here, I need to come up with 5 bands so I can move my cars and move everything here to where I live now. because, you know, I got to pay the driver to drive my cars here. I'm going to drive here myself. I got to pay my move-in fees and et cetera, et cetera. So I started looking for new places. But I noticed that when I started doing that, um, my targeting turned up. So I started getting heavily tailgated. I'm talking about to the point where one person actually dinged my car trying to brake, but it was intentional. And then they just took off. But I went to look at my car and there was no damage. So I started getting heavily targeted, heavily harassed because they seen that, and they it was like, okay, this guy, he probably trying to leave, so we're gonna make it hell for him before he leaves. So I'm getting heavily targeted, heavily followed. People just constantly trying to come around and harass me, having directed conversation. Honestly just trying to cause issues for me. So as the summer went on, I started getting closer and closer to my move. That's when I started hearing people kind of discuss, you know, my moving. And how I kind of had an idea they knew where I was going is that I kept going around certain people and they kept talking about where I live, like the state I currently live in. And it even got to the point where they found out what apartment at the time I applied for, because the apartment that I originally applied for at that point, I don't live there anymore because I don't like apartments. I broke the lease early because I just apartments nah. I mean, I don't think apartments is the best thing to live in. Why is not the best place to live in while you're being gang stalked. You will 1000% have a horrible experience. That was horrible. So I go to like I said, I'm trying to save up this money, stack up this money. I'm doing everything I can. A lot of stuff is going on. A lot of people are trying to sabotage my way. Um, I don't know if anybody that's gang stalked that drive like ride share and stuff for a living, but what they'll do is they'll send a bunch of drivers out on the times that you're out to slow down your money. So what I had to do is I ended up driving to a whole nother city in order to make money. And then what they'll do is they'll follow me out there. They'll load the area with drivers, and then I'll go back. And then, you know, I kept having to repeat that process for months to make money. Because they were trying to make it very hard on me to leave. So I stayed disciplined. I stayed focused on the goal and what I wanted to do, because I knew I needed to change the scenery in order to have some real opportunity created for myself. So we get to October of 2024. Um, so this is a few weeks before I end up moving. Well, no, it was 2 months before, because I ended up moving in December. So 2 months before, um, I ended up getting a call, you know, because I ended up like putting my telling them like, hey, I don't intend to. Cause we do the re-sign because I was paying it through a what do you call that? What do you call that company? Damn, what do you call it? Escrow company. So I would pay my rent into an escrow account. So so about 60 days before, roughly, you have to let them know if you intend to re-sign the contract or move. And I told them no. So and at that point I was staying there for 5 years, roughly going on 5 years. And then once they heard I said no, that's when my neighbors started being extra nosy and started wanting to see like everything I do. They were being extra nosy, like literally they were synchronized with me. Everything I do, I leave the house, they leave. I go outside, they come outside. And it was just like that for until the end until literally the day that I left. Because what they were noticing is that I'm starting to empty out my house. Like I was getting rid of a lot of stuff, and I'm setting stuff out on the sidewalk. I'm coordinating my cars getting shipped over here. So they're seeing all this. And I'm noticing people driving by and they're looking at me crazy, like a maniacal type smile, and almost like bye bye, like get the f out of here. We don't want you here anyway in our city, in our state. And I'm like, cool, I don't want to be here anyway. So it is what it is. So yeah, so just a bunch of just trying to make it hard for me and stuff like that. And I get to December or after the holiday and stuff like that. So we're getting into beginning of December 2024. So this is like the last 10 days I'm in town, essentially. With them knowing this, because they knew that where I applied at, so I was having dealing with a lot of directed conversation in terms of where I'm moving. I heard apartment a lot, and then I heard like even as far as like the location, like the name of the apartment, I heard that, and I'm just like, bro, these people are really fucking weird. Like, how do you are you that obsessed with me that you know where I'm moving? Damn near down to the unit number. They kind of got the unit number wrong, because the unit number I ended up moving in ended up changing at the last minute because that unit became unavailable. With me being out of state, it was kind of a first come first serve thing. But they had the original when they said the unit number ended up being right, because that was the unit number that I was supposed to be moving in. But this is how you know they mirror your phone, because I was doing everything virtually as far as like the apartment process. So they're sending my emails. They're sending me the agreement, the apartment agreement, via email. And this particular email I was using at the time, I was having issues with it because my stuff ended up getting hacked. My bank account and my primary email got hacked at around this time. So I had somebody hack my bank account in an attempt to apply for a $50,000 loan. It didn't go through because they don't know me. They don't know me to be doing stuff like that. So they immediately denied it. And there was some information they probably got wrong and stuff like that. And they immediately denied it. So I get a notification saying that did you try to apply for this loan? I get a call from SoFi and stuff like that. And I'm just like, no, I didn't do anything. So they immediately closed my account, or so I thought. And then next thing you know, they try to do it again. Like, I changed the password and stuff like that on my account, and they got in again and did it again. Tried to apply for the loan, but they tried to apply for $5,000 this time. Didn't work. Next thing you know, I started getting weird emails, like notifications sent to my phone, trying to get me to verify this 6-digit code. And for some reason, it will verify automatically. So my phone, email, and bank account got hacked. And whoever the hackers were, they took control of my everything. So I ended up getting rid of my phone. I changed the password, did 2-factor authentication on that email. Didn't work, still didn't work. So I completely shut down that email. And the bank account I just stopped using because they got a hold of all my information. Now I'm still kind of doing my personal investigation on that, because I kind of have an idea of like, excuse me. I did my personal investigation on that, and I found a phone number that was tied to the person name they were using. But apparently, somebody is a scammer, is not going to use their real information. So I ended up finding out that it was a white lady with a Sacramento area code, but she was living in Montana. Random. So, but I don't know for sure if it was her. So I didn't press her or nothing like that. But I'm still looking into that. That's still actively going on. So, from there, we get into about the middle of December. Now, the day I leave, so I decided, like, you know what? About 4:00 in the afternoon, the truck shows up to pick up my cars. Next thing you know, my nosy ass neighbor come outside. He's staring and trying to be nosy and shit like that and whatnot. He sat there in his car. I seen him pull out his phone and try to take a picture of the car, and the truck, the trailer, and the guy that was transporting the car. So then he left. He looked at me. He did like this, and then he left. So, and as you know, that's one of the things they do to me. They stick a thumbs up. So I go, the car gets transported, and then I got to go get some sleep because I got 3 o'clock in the morning. I decided, okay, we're gonna leave at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna go ahead and pack everything up, what's left, and we're gonna hit the road. 3 o'clock in the morning come. the guy that stayed across the street I told you about in the last part that aided in that guy that was trying to break in my cars, he mysteriously comes outside 3 a.m. So these people are up all night. Somebody is up all night navigating what I'm doing. So obviously they knew that I was leaving at 3 in the morning. So I ended up taking off, ended up coming to here. So when I got here about 9 in the morning because I had to stop, get gas and, lodge and stuff like that. And I get here, everything seemed normal. I didn't get any inclinations or nothing like that when I first got here. Ended up getting a hotel, everything was cool. And I think it was just because I was in a new area and they probably didn't know I was here yet. So everything was cool for a little bit. As far as the remainder of that month, I ended up moving in my apartment 2 days later. Everything was cool, seemed like it. So yeah, getting into 2025. So we're getting into 2025, January 2025. I'm settling in. I took the holiday season off to chill, you know what I'm saying, relax, you know what I'm saying, just moving and stuff like that. So I'm getting back out here, getting to work. Getting out here, getting to work, everything seemed fine. So I will skip ahead to about April because everything was fine up to that point. Like it seemed like for like I'm telling you, it's anywhere from a couple weeks to a couple months. Everything will seem normal. Or maybe it's just like it's covert targeting going on. And then it'll go overt once they get the notification out to everybody widespread. And with me being in a big city, that I'm in the area. So I noticed for a few months it seemed okay. So April 2025 come, that's when everything just restarted. Restart all over again. The targeting me, the stalking me everywhere I go. It went overt again. Then me tailgate me in traffic, cut me off. I come around, they're having a lot of directed conversation and staring at me, and so you got some people that were laughing and doing this and doing that in the third. I got recorded a bunch of times. So it just went right back to normal as far as like what they were doing. So a lot of that going on. And then me trying to apply for work because once that started again, my apps started to slow down. Like all the business, like they were just packing out everywhere I go and stuff like that. So a lot of the tech stuff they were doing to me in New Mexico. So getting into the summertime, my kids are out of school. So at that point, I wanted to find a part-time job because I needed to be home more to be with them. So wanted to find a part-time job. I'm getting to run around. I'm going to interviews and they're just having me sit in the lobby for 2 hours and I'm not be able to do an interview, but I see other people coming in and they're getting an interview and I go up like, hey, I'm supposed to get an interview, you know what I'm saying? And nothing like that. Oh, we're not hiring anymore. So they had me sitting there that long and wasting my time only for them to tell me only for them to hire the other person and then just have me sitting there. So I was dealing with that for a while last summer and never got around to finding work out here. So it was the same thing everywhere, just getting to run around and run around and run around and run around. So it got to the point where they did hire me somewhere and at a grocery store doing stocking. And I was like, cool, I'll do it part-time at night or whatever. Cool. So once I go to start it, go to the orientation, I do everything. And this is in August 2025. So do the orientation, do everything, cool. So when it went for me to start the job, I never got a call. A call never came through for me to start at all. I was trying to call, getting to run around. They not there, et cetera, et cetera. Time go on, we get into September 2025 and never get a call. So I'm just calling and calling, and I never went up there because I was just like, you know what, I'm not going to waste my time going up there. I'm just going to call. And I finally get through to the guy, and then they're saying that they're no longer hiring anymore. And then I get a notification saying that we had to rescind the offer. And I'm just like, why? I didn't do nothing wrong. Like, what the fuck? I was sitting there just waiting on the job to start, and they just rescinded my offer. So since then, I just was like, F this. I'm not applying for work with anybody. I'm just gonna fully go independent. I found some apps in the area that weren't in Albuquerque, and then I've just been doing those ever since. And in my own little business that I got on the side, it's been jumping off. So I've been doing pretty good now. So um I ended up moving here out this place. I ended up moving in this place around that time, September 2025. I ended up moving here where I live now. And it's been okay here as far as like my living coordination. A lot of my stuff, a lot of my issues, I did have issues with package delivery, but that didn't have anything to do with me being targeted as much as this is where I live is a brand new house. Like I'm the first person to live in this house. Like since it was built, I'm the first person to take down the plastic off the refrigerator, and I'm the first person to live in this house. Nobody's lived in this house before me. So a lot of the package issues was just based on it not being on Google Maps, which I and it still ain't to this day. So I get that. I'm not even tripping off that. Um, that don't seem to be a problem. But as far as like neighbors, not too much in a way. Everybody seemed okay. Um, a lot of the people that were here initially moved out probably like a month or two after I moved in, and then I noticed that people that moved in, and these people are definitely gang stalkers because I seen one guy. I'm driving down driving up, you know what I'm saying, down the street, and he takes a picture. His phone, like you can tell, like when somebody. Sometimes it's one thing to be looking at your phone like this, and then have your phone like this. You don't need to have your phone out here to look at your phone. You're clearly taking a picture. So, and it was a white guy that I saw. And at the beginning of the neighborhood, there is this black couple that mean mugs every time I come in here. I don't know these people from a can of paint. But other than that, nothing major. I mean, everything's been okay in the community. But outside, when I go outside the community, that's when I have problems. Dealing with being harassed and targeted and gang stalk followed everywhere I go. Just making everything hard for me, difficult for me. Intentionally putting the wrong addresses so I can waste time, you know what I'm saying, having to try to find them. When I go shopping stores for orders, what they'll do is they'll shop and they'll walk around and roam around. They'll buy 3 or 4 items, and then once I finish my load of groceries, right, they'll go get in the line to where I need to be in. Instead of going to self checkout with their 4 items, they'll go to the cashier on purpose to slow me down. And that's all a ploy they do just to slow you down, to kind of get you to waste extra time. I'm already spending 30, 40 minutes in the store. So with them loading that one line that they have open in the cashier side, because you know they're trying to do self checkout now, they'll load that line just to slow me down, to slow my money up. So I've been dealing with a lot of that. Other than that, and the stuff I've been named, that's pretty much what it is to this day. So this is your boy Gang Stalk Talk with AJ. And I did upload a few clips on my shorts feed of some recent events that took place, and you can check that out. But this will end part 6 in the final part to this story. Going from 2024 up till current. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed this. Give me your opinions on everything. I went from beginning up to current, and I want to hear your opinions on this, and just tell me some stuff you've been dealing with. And I appreciate y'all tuning in and watching the videos and watching all the parts. Many blessings to all of you out there. Y'all stay safe, stay strong, and keep your head up. It's a way around everything. It's a way to get through this. And you're gonna have to overcome, a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, to be able to maintain and see it through. But you'll grow and you'll become better from this. Why? Well, of course we're gonna still be dealing with this, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So Just keep your head locked in on your purpose and on your grind, and put God first, and keep the faith, man. I'm out of here, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, y'all stay safe and stay blessed. And I'm going. Peace.